Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to give you my thoughts on Biomutant and whether I believe the game is worth buying or not. So if you want to stick around and listen to it, I would much appreciate it. But I'd also appreciate it if you hit the like button on the video. It gets the video out to more people so more people can make their mind up on this game. Subscribe if you're new around here, hit the notification bell so you get notifications of when I'm live streaming or when a video comes out. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think you're going to do with this game. Are you going to buy it? Are you not? Why? I should also be live streaming right now with this game. So if you want to come and check it out, check the channel and come and ask me some questions and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. But watch the video first. So I really thought about doing a really super intricate, breakdown of every single aspect of the game. But then I thought, that's not me. I just sit and I talk and I give my thoughts and opinions and I try to be as honest as possible without, trying to break down every single aspect of the game. And I don't think that's fair on this game. I think this game needs to be experienced to truly love it. So what I will say is Biomutant the greatest game in the world? No. Is Biomutant a game that will last you a lifetime, several years, or even several months? Probably not. The game is a single player game. Start to finish, I feel like on estimate would be 60 hours minimum. I have been playing this game for 2 days and 9 hours. Admittedly, 8 of those hours is probably me sitting editing videos while I was just running around doing nothing within the game, but there's a solid 48 hours of gameplay for myself, and I don't think I'm even 60% of the way through the game, personally. I might be a little bit off with that, but I'm definitely got probably another 20 hours out of this game of just exploring. And that's because of the sheer amount of side quests that just exist in this world. There's a lot of things you have to go and do in specific towns and buildings and things like that. When you get to a new town, they give you a list of things that exist in that town, and then you go and explore and search for these things. So, there might be a bio container to get a bio point. There might be 4 loot chests that have superb loot in, but then there's 20 loot chests within the town. You have to go and find all of these lists of things, and then you have specific areas which are tied to your resistances. So you might have a biohazard area or a radiation area, so you have to really get to the point where you can exist in those biomes to be able to go and find these awesome things that they have too. And then there's bosses and sub bosses and world eaters, which are the big bosses. And then there's multiple biomes. You need to use a goo glide, which is a jet ski. There's areas where you have to use a mech. And I just think the whole map of this game, the exploration side of it, the aesthetic, how good the graphics are, the music is absolutely incredible. I have to say, being within this game, experiencing this world, is one of the better experiences I've had in gaming in probably close to 10 years. I have absolutely loved playing this game. So do I think it's worth it? Well, let's just say my estimate of 60 hours, the game's $60 or whatever it is somewhere, you work it out for your currency. But for me, £60, that's £1 an hour. I'm more than happy to play that. And I don't even think I'll do one run through. I think I'll probably do 3 or 4 depending on what classes I want to use and how much it differs from class to class. But I'm definitely going to run through the game at least twice. And I've already done 60% of one of those runs. So I am very, very happy with the time investment, how much I've got from this game, and how much I'm still looking forward to finishing my current run through. I think this game's amazing, and that's all I can say. It's amazing. Graphics are incredible. They have really intricate accessibility options. You can even have your quick time events just completed for you, which means people who have challenges with finer motor skills don't have to panic or be stressed out. It will just get done for you. Each individual audio setting can be changed, and I know that sounds crazy, but for me with sensory issues, I like to have total control over what I'm hearing on a day-to-day basis. You can reduce the amount the narrator talks to you. You can reduce the amount of gibberish that the enemies spew, and they're just like as they're talking. So you can reduce that as much as you want and have it off completely. So the accessibility side of it and making this game just available to everyone in any sort of situation is just unbelievable. I am so happy with that aspect of the game. Everything in this game is intuitive as well. Your controls you can change to however you want them to be. However, I found that the basic controls work perfectly for me. I haven't had to change a single button because everything just feels nice and it's in the right place for your fingers to reach, and you don't have to stress yourself to be able to actually do anything in this game. The battle system is super intuitive too. You know, the combos are very simple, very basic, but you can also swap weapons whenever you want, swap ranged weapons whenever you want, which means every time you get into a fight, the variety is there if you want it to be. Yeah, you could use the same sword or the same gun as much as you want to, but if you want to just change it up and have variety and really get that crafting system used, it's all available there for you, and it's very easy to change. You just use the wheels, so you press up on the D-pad, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, down on the D-pad. It pulls up a menu for you, and then you change to whatever weapon you want using the sticks. Very fast, very intuitive, very simple, very basic, but there's endless amounts of things you can do with that system, and especially when you start throwing magic and psi magic and biogenetics and mutations and everything like that into the mix as well. Crafting is endless. Every time you go to a town, there's a list of things. Like I said, a lot of that area is going to have a lot of things to open, and you're going to get a lot of add-ons and base weapons and just things that you can use for crafting. There is just a godless amount of stuff that you can use, and not all of them are useful, so they can be broken down for parts and stuff so that you can craft other things, but there are a lot of things that are actually really useful. So I have several guns and several swords and weapons made at any one time while I'm playing, and I'm constantly changing them and updating them as I'm going through and getting more and more hard to find parts. And that to me is awesome, because of the simple fact that games like this, once you get a certain weapon, you just stick with it forever because it's the weapon. And while that does exist in this game, the kind of, like I said, the intuitivity of finding add-ons and crafting systems, even if you go down and make a weaker weapon, you still want to try it out because there's just so much to do. There's just so many fun things to create. They've done a really good job in this game with just making it just feel like it flows naturally. And talking about flowing naturally, I play on the Xbox Series X, so I can only really talk for the experience there. But 60 frames per second, and the game, no matter what you're doing, whether you're just exploring around the world or you're in a fight with 2 big bosses and several minions, runs like butter. Smooth as butter. I haven't had a single area that causes me to drop frames. I've had only one crash and it just dashboarded my game. Autosave was there, so I didn't lose anything. That's the only time in 48 hours of in-game time I've had one dashboard. And to me, that is unbelievable, because I've played a lot of games recently that promise you the world and deliver absolutely nothing and are just a glitchy mess. So the fact that this game has only had one problem for me is just unbelievable. I even had a bug on my mount, because you can call mounts to you whenever you want, and you have various different mounts, so you can swap and change them and call whenever you want and they will come to you. Once you call it to you, if you run away and call it again, it will follow you or it will reappear. You know, you can only have one mount at a time. I found a mount that you could endlessly spawn, and I must have spawned it about 30 to 50 times all in one area, and I didn't have a single bit of drop frames. The game just is really well made. The side quests are just endless. You have just so many things to do in this game, and every time you complete a side quest, it automatically puts you onto the next stage of that side quest and marks it on the map. So you know, you got to go find guitars, for instance, where you do puzzles on the guitar to tune them, and that's like one set of side quests, and there's 5 of them to find altogether. So when you first go and find that side quest by speaking to NPCs, it will mark where the first one is. You go get it, and it will instantly mark the second one. You go to the second one, it will mark the third one, and there is so many puzzles like that at any one time you're just going to have endless quest markers on your map on where to go and how to get to the new place. I could speak about it all day. I could speak about every single aspect of the game, break down every little thing, but ultimately this is a game that needs to be experienced. It needs to be watched in long form and not just a short review video. However, I will say, as a review, this game is easily a 9 out of 10 for me, 10 out of 10 is reserved for games like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's a very, very high standard for me. So 9 out of 10 for me is the highest compliment I can realistically give a game. As a single player game with roughly probably about 60 hours of playtime, in one run through anyway, this game is unbelievable. Definitely worth the money in my opinion. And if you like single player games and you don't expect there to be DLC or expansions or live service, if you just want a good solid single player game with lots of things to do that you can either run through in a couple of days or spend weeks and weeks and weeks just exploring and doing a couple of hours a day, a casual game, it's just incredibly built. And that's the video. So hit the like button if you wish to. Let me know what you think down below. Subscribe, notifications, Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. I have been easynow. You guys have been awesome.